We're on the Mayan Popol Vuh. Good morning. Okay, let's begin. Honapu and Zipalanke last time were up to a little bit of trouble, so let's see if they keep that theme up. Happy now, they went to play ball at the court. So they played ball at a distance, all by themselves. They swept out the court of their fathers, and then it came into the hearing of the lords of Xibalba. Remember, Xibalba is the underworld. Who's begun a game again there, over our heads. Don't they have any shame, stomping around this way? Didn't 1 in 7 Huanapu die trying to magnify themselves in front of us? So you must deliver another sermons. They said as before, 1 in 7 death, all the lords. They are hereby summoned, they told their messengers, you are to say, on reaching them, they must come, say the lords. We would play ball with them here. In 7 days we'll have a game, say the lords. You will say when you arrive, the messengers were told. And then they came along a wide roadway, the road to the house of the boys, which actually ended at their house, so that the messengers came directly to their grandmother. As for the boys, they were away playing ball when the messengers of Xibalba got there. Truly they are to come, say the lords, said the messengers of Xibalba. So then and there the day was specified by the messengers of Xibalba. In 7 days our game will take place. Hugh McCain was told there. Very well, they will go when the day comes, messengers, said the grandmother, and the messengers left. They went back. So now the grandmother, her heart was broken. How can I send for my grandchildren? Isn't it really Xibalba, just as it was when the messengers came long ago, when their fathers went to die? Said the grandmother, sobbing at home by herself. After that a louse came down there. It could be seen, and then she picked it up and put it in her hand. And the house moved around with fits and starts. My grandchild, perhaps you might like to take my message, to go where my grandchildren are, at the ball court. The louse was told when he went as a message bearer. Now remember, so this is kind of a little bit clunky, right? And it's mainly because, remember, the Mayans had hieroglyphs. This was on like a guarded scroll type of codex that was very cherished by the priests of the ancient civilization. And when the Catholic friars one particular friar went to translate it, he kind of can conflict his Catholic bias onto the scroll to maybe make it more palatable so it wouldn't get burned during any book burnings for the Catholics, right? So the language, if it's kind of clunky, that's, it's why it's an ancient language, right? To put it in a modern language, things are going to get a little clunky, so keep that in mind. You are to come. In 7 days they are to come, say the messengers of Xibalba. Says your grandmother, you will say, the louse was told. Then he went off, and he went in fits and starts, and sitting in the road, a boy named Tamazul, the toad. My world is contained. No, he goes over here. Where are you going? Said the toad to the louse. My word is contained in my belly. I am going to the 2 boys, said the louse to Tazmul. So the word is contained in his belly, because when the frog croaks, his energy, right, his voice, he croaks out for all to hear. So yeah. Very well, but I notice you're not very fast. The louse was told by the toad. Wouldn't you like me to swallow you? You'll see. I'll run bent over this way. We'll arrive in a hurry. Ew, who wants to go? Ew, look, it shows a little hieroglyph of ew. Ew. Oh, that's like the whale getting swallowed by a whale, right? Instead it's getting swallowed by a frog. Tazmul the toad. Very well, said the louse to the toad. After that, when he had united with the toad hopped. He went along now, but he didn't run. After that, the toad met a big snake named Zaquicaz. Oh, that's a difficult one. Zaquicaz. Where are you going, Tuzmul boy? The toad was asked next by Zaquicaz. I'm a messenger. My word is in my belly. The toad next said to the snake. But I notice you're not fast. Listen to me. I'll get there in a hurry, said the snake to the toad. Get going, he was told. So then the toad was next swallowed by Zaquicaz. When snakes get their food today, they swallow toads. So the snake was running as he went. The snake was met from overhead by a laughing falcon, a large bird. The snake was swallowed up by the falcon, and then he arrived above the court. When the hawks get their food, they eat snakes in the mountains. And when the falcon arrived, he alighted on the rim of the ball court. Juanapu and Zipalanque were happy then. They were playing ball when the falcon arrived. So then the falcon cried out, Wak, wako, wako, said the falcon as he cried. Who's crying out there? Come on, our blowguns, they said. And they shot the falcon, landing their blowgun shot right in the eye. Whee! Wobbling, he fell down, and they went right there to grab him. Then they asked him, What are you after? Said the falcon. My word is contained in my belly. But heal my eye first, then I'll name it, said the falcon. Very well, they said. Oh, very good conditions, right? Like, hey, you gotta help me, and then I'll tell you what I'm here to tell you. Next, they took a bit of rubber off the surface of the ball. Then they put it on the falcon's eye. Blood of sacrifice was their name for it. As soon as he was treated by them, the falcon's vision became good again. So name it, they said to the falcon, and then he vomited a big snake. Speak up, they said next to the snake. Yes, he said next. Then he'll vomit the toad. What's your errand? Tell it. The toad was told next. My word is contained in my belly. The toad said next, and then he was trying to throw it up, but there was no vomit. He just sort of drooled. That's funny. He was trying, but there was no vomit. After that, he had to be kicked by the boys. You trickster, he was told. Then they kicked him in the rear, and then they crushed the bones of his rear end with their feet. When he tried again, he just sort of spit. And then they pried the toad's mouth open. It was opened by the boys. They searched his mouth, and the louse had simply stuck in the toad's teeth. It was right there in his mouth. He hadn't swallowed it, but he had only seemed to swallow. And such was the defeat of the toad. It's not clear what kind of food they gave him, because he didn't run. He came near meat for snakes. Tell it, the louse was told next. So then he named his word. Boys, your grandmother says, summon them. A message came from them. From Xibalba comes the messenger of 1 and 7 death. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. It's like getting swallowed and then getting swallowed, and then keeps repeating about messengers and how there's like a word in their bellies. In 7 days they are to come. We'll play ball. Their gaming equipment must come along. Rubber ball, yokes, arm guards, kilts. This will make for some excitement here, say the lords. Is the word that came from them saying your grandmother, so your grandmother says you must come. Truly your grandmother cries. She calls out to you to come. Isn't it the truth? The boys said in their thoughts. When they heard it, they left at once and got to their grandmother. But they went there only to give their grandmother instructions. We're on our way, dear grandmother. We're just giving you instructions, so here's the sign of our word. We'll leave it with you. Each of us will plant our ear of green corn. We'll plant them in the center of our house. When the corn dries up, this will be a sign of our death. That's interesting. Interesting that they use corn, you know. Corn is very important to the Mayans at this time. Well, I mean, it still is of, Latin America today, but specifically in Mexico, you can make tamales, tortillas, like this elote drink. Oh, it's really good. Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the different things they use corn for. So it's, of course, would be in the mythology and the lore of the past. Perhaps they died, you'll say, when it dries up. And when the sprouting comes, perhaps they live. You'll say, our dear grandmother and mother, from now on, this is the sign of our word. We're leaving it with you, they said. Then they left. Juanapu planted one and Cipalanque planted another. They were planted right there in the house, neither in the mountains nor where the earth is damp, but where the earth is dry, in the middle of the inside of their house. They left them planted there, then went off, each with his own blowgun. Wow. Well, it's such an interesting tale with, their legends. They are funny. I mean, you can't say they're not entertaining, right? It's really cool how they anthropomorphize the animals as well.